Coming to you from PA Leadership Charter School Studio B in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's the June 1st edition of The Portal. Today's special guest is PALCS Student Materials Supervisor and Technology Historian, Mr. Jaffrey Clark. And now, here's your host, Mr. Graham Osborne.
Hello, I'm Mr. Osborne, and welcome to the last episode of The Portal for this year. The end of the school year is upon us, which means, you know what it means, end of the year picnics. The Blue and Gold Bash East is going to be on June 2nd at the United Sports Complex in Downingtown, and what a fine town it is. And that starts at 10 a.m. The Blue and Gold Bash West is going to be held on June 9th at Emmerling Park in Cheswick, and that one starts at 11 a.m. So make sure you keep that straight. East is June 2nd at 10 a.m. and West is June 9th at 11 a.m. Please join me in welcoming my guest this week, Mr. Jaffrey Clark.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Yes, thank you very much. How are you doing?
Good. So, Mr. Clark, you are an employee here at PALCS for how many years now?
10 and a half years.
10 and a half years. I didn't know that PALCS had been around for 10 and a half years.
Yes, I've kind of always been here.
Interesting. So what is it that you do here at PALCS?
I run the shipping department and I purchase the curriculum for the school. So I buy all the books, inventory the books, and oversee their logistics around the state, as well as the computers for the students.
So you have probably about like 7 or 8 books in your warehouse that you send out?
Yeah, just a couple, as many as you might have at home on your shelf.
Really? No, you have much more than that, right?
A few more than that, yes. A few more than that.
So how involved is that? What do you really need to do to execute that job?
Need to work with the academic department in learning what the curriculum needs are and what's being taught. And I then work with the business department with the budget, buying all of that curriculum, getting it in time, inventorying it, and then shipping it to all the students throughout the state based on what courses they're taking.
So once you ship it out to them, it's just theirs to keep, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I have a question.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's with the second chair?
Oh, that's for the gorilla.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if they don't keep them, what do they do with those books?
Well, workbooks they keep because we assume those are being written in, but everything else needs to be returned to us because we use them year after year after year. Some books are as old as I am.
Really?
At PALCS.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. So how do they send these books back? What do they need to do?
Well, at the end of the year, it's funny that you should ask this.
It is funny.
Because just this past week, every student in the school should have received a 6x9 craft envelope, and inside was a form letter detailing everything they need to know about year-end book returns. That's what we like to call it, year-end book returns.
Yeah.
The date by which all books must be returned, June 26th. Unless you're in summer school, return your books as soon as you're done your coursework. And actually quite a long list of books we do not want back, believe it or not, because we're not going to use them in the future. Next thing they received was a list of the books we do want back. And this is just a printout from Moodle where we keep track of all the books that each student gets.
Wow.
And so they should go by that list. And of course, if there are ever any questions, give me a call at extension 1192.
1192.
Oh, and of course the UPS label with which to ship the books back. Prepaid, of course.
That is really handy.
Yes.
That's great.
So that's how we get the books back at the end of every year. Wash and repeat.
So I see you brought a book with you today, actually. This is interesting.
I did.
Yeah. Are you returning this book, The Sword and the Promise by Jaffrey Clark? This guy's got the same name as you.
He does, yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, actually, it is me, actually.
Oh,
Yes.
you wrote this book?
I wrote that book.
The whole thing?
Cover to cover.
Every word in here?
Yes.
This is a real book. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what's the book about?
The book is, it's the first in a series. It's an epic fantasy that I've been writing for some time, and I published it this past December. And it is a story about redemption, ultimately. It's a story that begins with a rebellion in a great city called Amalum, and the king exiles the people who have rebelled against him there, and they're sent to a faraway land. And in that land there are 2 exiles. one is not going to be forgiven, and the other is, and that creates enmity between them. But as the king exiles one of those rebels, he promises him that one day he'll send a champion to save him from the other rebel, whose name is Mornock. You might see him on the front cover there. He's kind of a bad dude. And bring those people back to the city and make everything right. So it's a very long, expansive story, and hoping to publish the second book this summer.
Wow, that's really amazing. This is a real book. You can just like buy this book at any store?
You can. It's available on Amazon, and you can order it at just about any bookstore.
That's really great. Well, you've written a book, so you must be really good at typing.
Yes, I'm not bad.
We're going to find out because we did your typing challenge earlier on. And if you know about the typing challenge, it's where we have our teachers and staff members try and type out a phrase that we've come up with by using a keyboard that has all the letters switched around. And then we total up how many they get right. And you took our typing challenge earlier. Let's take a look and see how you did. So it looks like you're having a little trouble there.
Yeah, it was a little bit different of a keyboard.
Yeah. Any letters that were particularly hard to find?
I would say the Q and the K were a bit difficult.
Oh, I see you looking for one of them there.
Yeah. It was just hard to recall where the Q was.
Yeah.
You'd see it once and then it was gone.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's time. So we totaled up your score by the number of letters and spaces you got right, minus the ones you got wrong, which you actually didn't get any wrong. And you got a 40, which actually ties you with Mr. Osborne. Oh. I don't know who that is, but that's a pretty good score. I think that's up there, maybe like second place.
Oh.
So yeah, really great job there.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in today. It's always good to have you. We'd like to have you again next year maybe, and thank you for coming to visit with us today at the Portal, and we hope to see you again next year.